This is Pranav Rao from Smartkarma, and I'm pleased to have with me Michael Allen to talk through his recent insight on Fujikura, that's 5803JP. Michael, thanks for your time today on the 24th of November.
Glad to be
Could you
here.
briefly describe what Fujikura does and why it has seen an expansion in its EBITDA multiple from about a historic 4 to 5 times to 20 plus times today?
Right. So Fujikura makes optical cables and connectors, and these are essential for the data centers that are growing so rapidly right now. So the multiple just skyrocketed along with all of the AI related stocks like NVIDIA and Advantes. But there's two big differences. And one is that Advantes, NVIDIA have near monopoly pricing power. Fujikura is a leading supplier, but they can easily be replaced. And the second one is that as the technology gets more and more complicated, the role of NVIDIA and Advantes just gets stronger and stronger, whereas the cables, you actually need fewer and fewer of them. So Fujikura gets weaker as the technology advances.
Interesting. Can you explain the math you detailed in your insight around what adoption rates of 800G and 1.6T transceivers does for cable demand in a little more detail?
Right. So a typical data center now would deploy tens of thousands of transceivers, and these convert electrical signals into optical signals. And the standard transceiver today supports about 400 gigabits per second of throughput. 800 gigabits is coming. I think the transition will be within 2 years. And then they will be able to convert the same amount of data, or actually twice as much data for the same amount of cable. So for the same amount of capacity expansion, you're just going to get half as much cable. And then, with 2 years later, I think we'll go to 1.6 terabits and you'll have the cable again. So this is not good.
Understood. If we were thinking about what your bearish bias towards company could be compromised by, would that just be slower adoption of 800 gigabits and 1.6 terabits of transceivers? I also have been reading about data centers kind of moving to where power is available, given there's a global shortage at the minute. Would data centers popping up where power is further away from population centers as well as from other data centers mean that more cables required for them to be interconnected? How does that kind of play out here?
Right. So the adoption of the 800 gig is going to happen because the prices are going to come down. And once the prices come down, that transition will be very quick. So it might be delayed, but the price, I think the price is going to start coming down next year. Maybe they're at the beginning of the year, maybe they're at the end of the year, but I don't think that is a big difference. The transition will happen. And average cable lengths are increasing. They're only increasing about 7 to 15% annually. Nobody's really sure how much, but I've modeled a 25% increase annually, and that's still not enough to compensate for the reduction in the amount of cable. So I don't think either of those are risks. Your main risk really is that when the prices of the stocks get this high, it's really more about psychology. Do people want to have exposure to this or not? One day they're up 10%, the next day they're down 10%. But I really wanted to point out the math doesn't work. If you're a long-term holder, this just isn't, it's not an investment that makes sense.
Got it. Thanks for the call today, Michael, and listeners. Check out our coverage of actionable Japanese ideas on Smart Karma and tune into our next Smart Call. Thank you.
Thank you.